Good afternoon, grade 9. Welcome to this revision lesson of communication skills. Okay, today we'll be continuing the revision of communication skills that we started yesterday. Now, these are the drawing instruments that you will normally use when you do drawing. I know that some of you don't have the drawing instruments that are displayed here. I know that some of you use the ruler instead of the T-square. I would really prefer for you to have a T-square, but if you don't have it, you can use the ruler meanwhile. All right. If you don't have these set squares, you can use mathematical instruments. Okay, the pencil that you use is a 2H pencil, and this is your drawing board. And remember, at all times when you are practicing your drawing, use plain photocopying paper and keep that intact on your drawing board. You can use these clips, or you can use, I'm sorry, Max, I'm sorry about that. SCOM, it's HCOM, my child. Sorry about that, right? But we keep recapping, all right? That's how we can assist, right? Now, if you don't have these clips, you can use masking tape. You can use masking tape to hold your paper intact. Remember, you don't want to have a paper that is moving around while you are drawing, because that is going to affect the quality of your lines. And remember, your pencil must be sharpened at all times. Okay. Now, we will look at the isometric drawing, steps in constructing an isometric drawing. Okay, what is it that you are drawing today? We are drawing this crate. I hope that you will practice these skills because, you know, drawing, you know, in a conventional class, you would be in class with your drawing instruments and you would be doing this practically. So even now, I know you have to take your time and watch this online lesson, but offline, please do practice these. Practice until you are satisfied that you are getting a grip on the skill. So these are the lines that are used in isometric drawing. You have this basic horizontal line, which you are going to draw with your T-square. You see, the T-square is very nice because this part, this T part of the T-square, it gives you a nice horizontal line. And these other set squares will be sliding on your T-square like this. So that's why we prefer the T-square, all right? But still, if you have your ruler, you can make sure that you hold your ruler firmly on the paper so that these other set squares can slide. If you want to draw a slanting line on any place along this horizontal line, you simply slide the set square. Okay. So you put your T-square here, you draw using your set square, the 30-degree set square, you put it on the T-square, then you construct this slanting line. You do the same on this side. You put your set to slide on the T-square and you draw this line, all right? Then you have this, okay? You have, this is the basis of isometric drawing, okay? This this vertical line and this horizontal line. So we are constructing this. Second step, then you are marking where you are going to draw the other vertical lines. Okay? Right? And then you have done your marking, which is the measurement of this box. So this line actually is what, below this mark, is what you are going to darken. You're going to make an outline here. You're going to darken. So you're just marking where you're going to darken so that the remainder of the construction line remains faint. Okay? So you're marking. You're doing your markings. And then where you've done your markings, that is where you're going to measure how long must this vertical line be. Okay, you start with your construction line, you make it faint. You make a straight horizontal construction line, vertical construction line from the marking, And then you measure again, how long must this vertical line be? You make a marking there, And then this part that is marked is what you're going to darken. You darken that, and then you're going to join from the markings with a horizontal line. Okay, a slanting line actually at an angle of 30 degrees. Okay, and then you join your box. Now, when we have finished, depending on your assessor, the examiner said, you are going to darken all these lines that make up your box. And then you are going to remove the construction lines. You're going to rub them off with your pencil eraser and also the markings, so that you are left with this crate, which is drawn in an isometric projection. Okay, so that is how you construct a basic isometric drawing with instruments. We also draw isometric drawings on a grid. Now, this grid has made our lives easier because each of these lines are in an angle of 30 degrees in relation to a vertical line. If you can draw a vertical line across the blocks like this, okay, adjacent to this horizontal line at an angle of 90 degrees, okay, you are going to have an angle of 30 degrees on this line. So actually you can even draw freehand on the grid because the lines are there. They are already drawn for you. So the grid makes it easier for us. So you just draw the vertical line. You measure how big must your crate be. It takes 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. So you are going to draw a construction line up and you are going to darken it for 4 blocks. Then you cut, you measure. Then it's easy. Then you draw a slanting line and you even count. How many blocks must the slanting line be? You count. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. So these lines, these parallel lines are equal. Okay? And they are slanting at an angle of 30 degrees because it's isometric drawing. Then you follow that. You follow the measurements and you complete your blocks. So you can use your ruler or you can draw it freehand. You may be required in an assessment to draw on a grid. You may be required to draw using instruments. Okay, Nosipho. Yo, by my side, it got me in the morning. I had no network. Oh, okay. Okay, you are chatting. You are chatting amongst yourself. Tell me, have you practiced isometric drawing for the assessment? Have you practiced it? Because you may be given a box, a crate, okay? And you may be told to redraw it. Maybe you may be given a box in oblique, and you may be asked to draw it in isometric, because it is assumed that you started doing oblique in grade 7. Okay, so you have to practice these skills using the grid and also, yeah, Tando, only practice makes perfect, really. Yes. We can't draw as grade 9s, but we are learning. That is why the department has put drawing into the subject technology, because the department knows that children cannot draw. So teachers must teach children how to draw. That's what I'm doing now. Max, yeah, you love drawing. You need to have a passion for drawing, okay? So when you have a passion, you will be drawing things at random. You don't stick only to the drawings that are presented here in the lesson, but you challenge yourself. You give yourself more drawings to do. Like you can look at your tissue box at home and say, let me try and draw this on a grid, okay? And let me try and develop an isometric drawing of this. Okay, sorry, Nosipho. Okay. Max, I'm happy you're good. And I just want the rest of the class to be like you, okay? But with practice, we'll get better, my children, right? Yeah. And then in our syllabus, we are given this, the staircase and the ramp. Now, looking at this picture, surely you have seen the staircase and the ramp in buildings, probably at your school or in other buildings in town. But this one is just a building, an isolated building. It looks like some farm building or a shop in the rural areas. It does look like that, doesn't it? Now, I want you to look at the staircase and the ramp. What is the purpose? Why do buildings need to have the staircase and the ramp? Why is it important for buildings to have both the staircase and the ramp? To help those with wheelchairs? Okay, very good. Yes, yes, yes. For those who are disabled? Yes, Tando. Yes, Max. Yes, Mandla. Yes, you are correct, my children. Let us look at this fellow. He's not on a wheelchair. Now we are seeing another purpose for the ramp. He's pushing the shopping trolley. It's very difficult to push the shopping trolley on the staircase. That's why we need to have a ramp. Just imagine a mom coming to the shop with a pram, a baby's pram, it would be difficult to pull it up the stairs. So the ramp is very important for different reasons, for many reasons actually. All right, so let us look into the design of the ramp. Now, when thinking about the ramp, think of this piece of cake. Yummy. Now, this piece of cake is a ramp. A slice of cake like this is a ramp, isn't it? What do you think? Because the slope rises gradually, okay? So it does look like this. This is a piece of cake. Yes, so let's see how you draw that. Simple. You have your horizontal line that you draw with your T-square, and you take your 45-degree set square, you draw this vertical line at a length probably of 60 millimeters. You end it, then you join the lines. That's your ramp. But it looks very simple here because it is two-dimensional. And the staircase, this is the staircase, okay? Let's see. Okay, let me just ask. Is the staircase drawn in an isometric angle or an oblique angle? Grade 9. What is the angle of the staircase? Is it oblique or isometric? Please talk to me. Is it isometric or oblique? Mandla, it's isometric. It is isometric. How do you see isometric drawings? All right. This line, this vertical line is facing you. This vertical line is facing you, okay? Then the slanting line are at an angle. So there is no dimension that is directly facing you. If it was oblique, it would be the other way around. This dimension, this side would be facing the reader. But now, because there's an edge, this edge that is facing the reader of the drawing, we know that it is isometric, okay? This is the difference. The difference between oblique and isometric drawings. As you can see, this is an oblique drawing. And both these drawings are of what? A staircase. But this one that you did in grade 7, oblique drawings, you draw a horizontal line with your T-square, and you draw this vertical line. Then you put your 45-degree set square where you draw your slanting lines so that you have one side of the object facing you, the reader. With this one, you have an edge facing you. So that is the difference between the oblique drawing and the isometric drawing. And I hope that you understand. Okay. So do you understand? Do you understand the difference now? You have one face looking at you, the reader, and here you have an edge. Is it clear enough? Okay, Max. Thank you, my child. All right, I hope the rest of the class can understand the difference, because at grade 9, we are supposed to be exposed to, by this time, exposed to both the drawings, the oblique from grade 7 and the isometric one. Now, we come to orthographic projection. We started yesterday with orthographic projection. With orthographic projection, you start with this plan. You know how I like doing this? I like to say you take your drawing paper, you take it off your clips, you fold it twice. You fold it lengthwise and you fold it breadthwise. Then you are going to draw your lines across on your fold, okay? So that you have your planes like that. And then you are going to separate this one, this quarter, in an angle of 45 degrees, all right? Then this is your plan for drawing orthographic projection. And it is for first angle orthographic projection that we do in grade 9. In this, we are going to draw this 3-dimensional. Tell me, is this oblique or isometric? This drawing of the staircase, is it oblique or isometric? Tando, it is oblique. It is oblique. Nosipo, you're still battling with this, Nosipo. Let me help you. We say it is oblique because we can see one side completely. We can see one side of the staircase completely. That's why we say it is oblique. This one side is facing us. And these diagonal lines, they are slanting at an angle of 45 degrees. So that's how we know that this is oblique. Now, it is a 3. We can be given, in an assessment, we can be given either an isometric object or an oblique object to draw out 2-dimensional. So now, in this plan, we are going to draw 2-dimensional. This is 3-dimensional and this is 2-dimensional. Okay? We are going to draw the orthographic projection of this, the orthographic projection of this on this plane. And this is how you draw it, okay? It is the top view here, the front view here, and the left view here. So this is the front. This top view will be here. Okay? If this is the front, the top will be here. The front will be this one, it will be here. And the left side will be this one, it will be here. Okay. So this is the top view. This is the, it all depends on an arrow. Okay. The front will be declared with an arrow. So in your assessment, I will show you which one is the front. This one is a little bit challenging because I didn't indicate which one is the front. But when you are supposed to draw in your assessment, And in most textbooks, the front will be declared so that you will know which one is the front, because it's easy to find the top and the side if you know the front. Okay, let me get your questions. I'm trying to get to the chat. Okay, can't now. All right, let's proceed later. Now, if I said this is the front, okay, so this will be the front view. It will come here. This is the side view. It will go there. This will be the top view, and it will go here. So that is how you will be drawing your orthographic projection. Then, single point perspective. It's amazing that in grade 7, you do single point perspective drawing. And you also do double point perspective in grade 8. In grade 9, you're supposed to know both. Okay. In grade 9, you're supposed to be able to draw the interior of your classroom in single point perspective. Now, I like this one because it has color. Okay. This is what you do from grade 7. So I've been doing the same picture with grade 7. And because you're doing the same thing as grade 7, very strange, you will also practice the same skills that are portrayed here. So this is single point perspective. You start drawing it with pencil. You use your shading and you use your color. You also use your texturing. How do we know that these are trees and not clouds? Because basically, you know, the movement of the pencil is the same. It's the color that tells us that these are clouds and these are trees, and the shading. Okay. It looks good with color and texturing. It does. So when you are shading, you use lighter shades. You can practice shading with your pencil first before you apply color. You will use a lighter shade here, and then you darken the texturing. You darken shading, okay? So that it gives the reader the impression that light is coming from the side. And we also look at the shade of the trees, you know, the movement of the pen. You can see that the author of this drawing was using shading sideways, sideways, sideways. You can see, but they made it darker here. And it suggests, you know, it is credible. It has credibility because you know that under the tree, there is shade. So you darken your shade here. And the road, we know that the road is darker than the pavements normally. So you see the road, normally the tarred road is black. So you have a darker shading here. All right. So practice that. Add color. It takes time. It does take time. You would be asked to do this, I don't think in a test, but in your project portfolio, you will be asked to do this. And it's very important for our design process because we have to generate ideas for the client and show the client how we are intending to solve the problem. It does take time, Nosipho. So it's something that you would want to do for your project because it does take time. But believe me, if you are very good at it, you will not take so much time doing it. Okay. And then the perspective drawing, this is the basics. This is from grade 7. I just brought it in here because it's revision. All right, you know that you have to plot your vanishing point and construct lines that are going to create the object that you desire to create. So I like this. It's an example of a railway line. There's the bell. I'm sorry about it. It goes off every time. Okay. So this is your grade 7 single point perspective drawing. And you have to, this is also perspective drawing. You have to practice this also. This can be just a basic drawing. Let me ask you again. Is this an oblique or an isometric drawing? Is it oblique or isometric? Is it oblique or isometric? Grade 9? Oh, my children. Oh, my children. This is oblique. It's oblique. King K, tell me, why do we say this is an oblique drawing? Why do we say so? Sledgehammer. It's oblique. Yes, I agree, it's oblique. How do you see that this is oblique? Because we have one face facing the reader, one whole face of the drawing facing the reader, and the slanting lines are extending at an angle of 45 degrees. As time goes on, you will just look at drawings, even pictures. You know, if someone is taking a picture of a building or an image, you will see, you will be able to tell if this picture is taken at an isometric or an oblique angle, okay? But for now, you are struggling with it. Please learn it. If you are looking at this box, it's it looks like a pencil eraser. You can see this one dimension facing you totally, okay? Then the other dimensions are slanting at an angle, okay? Okay, let us see how you draw a room in single point perspective. We'll not finish this video if it exceeds the time of our lesson. Okay, that was a video taken from www.learntodrawlessons.com. Okay. It is showing you how you do your single point perspective drawing. In grade 9, you're supposed to draw the inside of your classroom in single point. Do practice that. Do practice that. You will not be required to do that for a test, but you can be required to do that in your project to show that you have mastered the skills that you are supposed to have in grade 9. Okay. Thank you, grade 9. Let me love you and leave you. I hope that you will practice these skills whenever you find time at home. And I hope that you acquire the relevant drawing instruments that you need. Surely you can see that drawing is a skill that needs thorough practice, and you have to teach yourself to handle your pen, to draw the different types of lines, and you must know what lines are construction, because you can see in the video that the lady is drawing construction lines that she later erases. Okay, so at the end of the video, you will see a complete kitchen, just that we don't have time to watch the rest of the video, but the link is right here on the screen. That's how you get to the video. Okay, thank you very much.